White House officials now changing their press pull policy as they fight with the Associated Press over the Gulf of America. They're now taking over which media outlets will be allowed to cover the president. So this was controlled by the White House Correspondents Association, a separate organization from the government. The Associated Press sued 3 Trump administration officials over access to presidential events, citing freedom of speech. So now a federal judge has refused to issue a restraining order against the White House in order to force the Trump administration to let the Associated Press back in. So here's the backstory. President Trump's administration kicked out the AP when it refused to follow his executive order renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. So this big topic now is huge because hundreds of people and news outlets get their information from the Associated Press. Joining me now to take a deeper dive on this is Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, when we talk about this issue, I first want to talk about this lawsuit because right now the AP is citing First Amendment rights for their argument. Explain that a little bit.
Well, this is a clear First Amendment argument. It takes me back to law school, and I like how you started the intro. So let me bring you up to date. The First Amendment is pretty clear that the government can chill speech. Chilling speech means stop it, prevent it, limit it, tell you when you can do it, and tell you how you can do it. That's called time, place, and matter. I don't like what you're saying. I should say I don't like where you're saying it. So I can have you not say it right here, but say it down the street. Say it not today, but say it tomorrow. I want to say it during the guys driving down our street. I don't want you to do that as the government. So you know what? I'll let you do it the next day after the parade is over. Haven't stopped your speech, just delayed it. Time, place, and matter. Constitutionally, that's there. Case law is behind it. However, if you're trying to chill my speech based on my viewpoint, based on what I'm saying, not when or how I'm saying it, but what I'm saying, that is a problem. Case law, Constitution clearly is against that. The government has to jump over an extremely high burden. They have to be able to show that it is narrowly tailored and it's the least restrictive means. So the question is, are they stopping AP from being in that location? Is this a First Amendment? Have you chilled their speech? Have you stopped them from being able to do what they were doing before without any type of interference? And the judge here didn't go that far, but seemed like he tipped his hat to saying less. It seems like there is an infringement on their First Amendment rights, specifically because you're saying the reason why they got banned was because they didn't do exactly what you wanted them to do. You didn't want them to speak, they didn't speak in the manner in which you wanted them to speak.
Right.
That sounds like censorship. That sounds like exactly what they're saying that you've done, which is violated their First Amendment right.
And that was the last thing that they were saying really in this case. But when you look at other cases too, I mean, just last week we saw with Democratic Governor of Maine, Janet Mills, where she was challenging President Donald Trump during a White House meeting. And she said, I'll see you in court. When we see these types of I'll see you in court cases, I mean, are we going to see these ambiguous types of endings?
Everything about these are ambiguous, and they get to court because there's some ambiguous law or some ambiguous executive order. And then someone is challenging the ambiguity of the order or of the law, and that's how we get court cases. We're a litigious society already. Folks like to sue. What we haven't seen on this level is government suing government, where you have individual state attorneys general deciding to sue the federal government. Now, make no mistake about it. That happens on a routine basis, but it doesn't happen as frequent as is happening now. Everything is being challenged in the court, but we wouldn't have attorneys general in this situation if we weren't there to sue the government for they're defending the individual folks in their state. Multiple of these types of complaints. Our Attorney General Jeff Jackson has joined in some of these complaints. So he's saying, I'm going to speak on behalf of the citizens in my state that I feel like this federal law is infringing on their rights, because if they didn't do it, you and I individually would have to sue. So that allows us to have someone speak on our behalf without us individually have to go file a suit.
Well, hey, you know what? I'll see you in court. Now it's going to be, let's wait and see what happens. Khalif Rhodes, appreciate your insight. I feel like I definitely gained my knowledge of education of understanding what's going on. Thank you, Khalif. Appreciate it.